Welcome you to customer. When you have a U2 ODBC application or JDBC application, you might see this error. But how can you solve this problem? So most of the issue come out from U2 ODBC client or JDBC client. So for the U2 ODBC client, you can set up the max fetch buffer to bigger because by UCI buffer size default is 8K, is 8192. So you can change in the uci.config file. For the JDBC application, you just need to add additional parameter called max fetch buffer to bigger. So it should be solved your issue. I was using the sample file and to demo the issue. The first, I need to create a program to generate one sample file. The program I will call this program called create the bit record X. Basically, I can create the column for this sample program. I use 601 column field, so I generate 601 field, and each data record, each field record will be 20 byte. So it can be very big, just one record with the big record size. So how can I generate? So basically, first I need to create a file. Just create a simple file. So after I create, I use in my simple basic program to create. So I can run it. So this records, basically I just create called test01 record. It's the record size will be 12K. So when you create the max fetch buffer size, you need to bigger than this to allocate the UCI buffer size to work with the U2 ODBC client and or JDBC client. So next I will show you the U2 ODBC application. So for this is the 64-bit ODBC client application. So first we can check your UCI data source. So for the UCI data source, it's in the uci.config file. If you are using the local UV, it's just the basic without additional setting. Then that means UCI buffer will be 8K. I also create called test UV1. It's a little bit bigger using the max fetch buffer size. Basically, I'm using 16K. So also, let's the UCI data source also match the ODBC DSN setting. So I have a local UV 64 by using the local UV setting, another called test UV using the 16K buffer size. So I will show you the program. So when I run this program, first I using the local UV. So I connect it. So when I connect, after connect, I just try to run the SQL statement. Called big record X. So I run it, you see the error. So because the exceeds the buffer size. So after this, if I using the different one called test UV, because I know this the test UV using the bigger buffer size. So I make a connection. So I test select. So you will get the one record. So basically it's just one record. So how big is I have a record size? So you know it's the 12K. So it's fine. So when you set in the max fetch buffer size bigger than this, so it without this error, when you run the application without this error. The next, I will show you JDBC. So for the JDBC client, it's just very similar. They have the setting called max fetch buffer size. Right now, I just disabled it. So when I disable it, then I need to compile it. So the program is just a regular program. I compile it. So I run it. Connect the, that's the URL setting without max fetch buffer. Right now, I try to select start from this big record X table. So you see the same error just like a ODBC called low length exceed buffer size. So next, if I change the buffer size to make it bigger, so if I put the additional option, so I need to set a little bit bigger, 60, because I know the record size is 12K. So I need to make it bigger. So after save it, then I need to recompile. So run the same thing, username, password. So I got it connected. So I run the same SQL statement. So you will return the data without any error. So that's just a simple setting to get this issue solved. So I hope you can enjoy this video and learn about the new setting to solve this issue.